Hello and welcome. Good morning. It's Saturday. It's 10 o'clock. It's the 21st day of August 2021. Back to school has begun for many of you, and I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. And it's day 21 of RPG A Day 2021. Every day for the month of August, we are taking a look at this wonderful list presented to us by autocratic.com of prompts, and then interpreting those prompts any way we want to address the issues of our beloved hobby that is role-playing. And today's prompt is simplicity. Simplicity, or simply simple. And if there's one lesson, only one lesson you ever take from me, and nothing else I ever say matters, then understand the best, only advice I can give to you as a DM is keep it small, keep it simple, keep it stupid. I understand the need to over-explain. I understand the need to create deep, intricate worlds. I understand the need to create a 27-page backstory for that lich who's in the north and all the plans that lich is planning, and maybe those plans, some way, shape, and form actually affect the long-term story of your world. I understand that. But please understand, and I mean this with no disrespect, don't make that lich. Don't tell that story. Don't create anything that's never actually going to have an effect on your game. If your players never go there and never interact with that lich, then there's no reason to tell that story, because at the end of the day, it should just be the simple story about the conflicts you place in front of the players and how they react. That's why session 0 is so important, and that's why the philosophy of the 5-room dungeon is so important. You could run 5-room dungeons for a year, for several years, and tell a good campaign simply around the idea of there's just, the 5 encounters per session. Keep it simple, keep it small, keep it stupid, and understand your story. Don't just, read the story blank sheet first time when you're with your players. No player wants to hear, yeah, no, oh, give me a sec, yeah, no, okay. You guys, wait a sec, I read this wrong. Hold on, give me a minute, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, yeah. No, that uncomfortable silence is awful, and it immediately destroys the game, destroys the immersion, destroys the story, and just reminds us we're in a game, and reminds us you really don't know what you're doing, and any level of trust we have is lost, because as a player, as a participant in the story, I don't want to hear hold on, you guys. Yeah, no, you don't see that. If I don't see that, don't tell me it. Read the module, read the adventure, understand the adventure, make a plan, memorize the plan, understand the plan, think of all the things that might disrupt the plan, start the plan, and then throw the plan out the window because you don't know what the players are going to go. If you're running a module, read the module, get to know the module, get an outline of the module, pay attention to the important parts, and just ignore everything else and use your imagination. See the world through the player's eyes and understand that if we don't go there, we don't need to know about it. We are, as players, at our very basic, very simple audience. We want to know directly what's in front of us. We want to know how we can play with it and encounter it and deal with it and manipulate it. We want to know what we're going to get out of it. We want to have a good ride. We want to be excited. We want to be immersed. We want to have a great time. And then we want to move on. 5-room dungeons are great. Everything you need to know within those 5 rooms. And I don't need to know anything else about the world if it doesn't affect those 5 rooms, if it doesn't affect the immediate story in front of me. Keep it small. Keep it simple. Keep it stupid. Remember, we're players. We're stupid. And we're going to do things that make no fucking sense and throw all your intricate plans out the window. So don't invest 20 hours creating an epic story when, the very first adventure, we just flip the table and do something completely different, and your 20 pages of story are just suddenly pointless because we just changed the outcome. I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen DMs invest too much in their games too many times, fall in love with their worlds too many times, fall in love with their NPCs too many times, want to show off how awesome their world is and how awesome their story is. In fact, I just read a blog from one of my followers talking about his encounter with a DM who's always about, I'm better than you, I know the game more than you, this is my amazing world, this is my amazing story, this is the story I'm going to tell, and I'm going to get published. And it turned out the guy was just telling a book that everybody else had already read, and he just changed a few names, and he wasn't doing a very good job of it. But he was so in love with his creation and his NPCs and shoving those in the players' faces that it ruined the game, when what he should have done is just keep it simple. Keep it small. Keep it stupid. Keep it centered on what's immediately important to the players and the way they perceive the players. Anything beyond that town, anything beyond that 5-room dungeon isn't important until we get there. Keep the story open. Feel free to move things and change things. We've talked about the MacGuffin. We've talked about the grandma's house. We've talked about the 3 things that have to happen to move the story along. We've talked about how to keep an open mind and react to what the players are saying, and being open to the fact that they're going to go a completely separate way, and 9 out of 10 times they're going to throw your plot out the window and do something completely different, and be open to that. Don't force things down their throat. Don't over-describe. Don't create a world of things they're never going to see, and never, ever shove NPCs in their face that make them feel they're not as important as the NPC. Never go, yeah, hold on a sec, wait a minute. Oh, I got to answer this text. Oh, look, because it breaks the immersion and it breaks the story. And once we hear that, yeah, we've lost trust in you. You're telling us you don't know what's going to happen next. You're not prepared for us. And then we're like, well, if you're not going to invest, we're not going to invest. Read the module, understand the things that the player characters might do, plus the 3 or 4 things the player characters don't do, have an outline, and then just ignore everything else. Ignore the super cool NPC. Ignore the things that are going to distract the players from telling the story that's immediately in front of them. Run dungeons. Run 5-room dungeons. Understand, you've got 3-4 hours, and in those 3-4 hours, only about 2 of those hours you're going to actually get the most investment from your players, maybe even less. Anything more than a 5-room dungeon, anything more from a simple, straightforward, open story, anything more than understanding that if they go a different way, you need to run with it, is pointless. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it small, keep it stupid. Not that you're stupid, not that your players are stupid, but the world should sort of just be a blank chalkboard. I don't need to know about the Ice Lich. I don't need to know about your 18th level monk. I don't need to know about the manipulations of the undead queen unless it directly influences what's going on right now in my character's life. Keep it simple. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, and if you agree with this content, let me know. If you disagree with this content, and I'm sure you do, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs. And I will talk to you later. Keep it simple. Stay off my land.